We've got the small Pilates ball and our mat. My name is Stephanie. When we're ready, we're just gonna lay on back on our mat. Just find a comfortable position here. Find a neutral spine, pocket of air underneath the low back, and we're gonna start with a little breathing, inhaling through your nose and exhaling out your mouth. As you inhale, feel your rib cage open. As you exhale, pull the rib cage together, belly button to spine. A few big breaths, let your shoulders drop, your palms just release into the mat. In a comfortable position here. Pushing away the thoughts from outside, focusing in here on your practice. Do one more big inhale in through the nose. One more powerful exhale out through the mouth. We're gonna grab our ball. We're gonna start with the ball behind the neck. So it's just gonna be kind of like a little pillow there. Good. Try to find that neutral position with the head. So on the ball, where your gaze is up towards the ceiling, the chin isn't tucked or extended. We're gonna inhale, exhale, tuck the chin to chest. Just feeling that little roll on the ball. Inhale back to center, exhale. Take the chin up towards the ceiling, extending a little bit over the ball. You can adjust the ball if you need, but it's a tiny movement here. We're just going chin to chest. Feeling the ball roll a tiny bit, inhaling and exhaling, looking up towards the ceiling. Good, tiny movement here, just going forward and backward with the chin. And then we'll pause back in that neutral cervical spine position. We're gonna nod the head to the right, so just kind of rolling over to that ball a little bit, like right ear to right shoulder, back to center, and then rolling a little bit the other way. So without losing the ball, just a little roll side to side. If you need to adjust where the ball is, you can. Just a little neck release here with the ball. Good. Continuing side to side with your breath in that tiny movement. Perfect. We'll pause right back at the center. We're gonna take the ball out into our hands, let the neck just drop. Feel that difference there without the ball. And then knees bent, feet flat, lift up your hips. The ball is gonna go underneath your sacrum, almost like a little bunny tail. Good, find that neutral spine again. So the pelvis isn't tipped forward or tipped backward. And then we're gonna do some little pelvic rocks. Inhale, exhale, press your low back down, kind of tilting the pelvis towards you, inhaling back to neutral. So it's like your pelvis is a bowl and that bowl is tipping towards the belly button, letting water spill into the belly button, inhaling, exhaling back to that neutral spine. Tiny movement here. If you need to adjust the ball, you can. We're just kind of rocking the pelvis forward and backward, finding some pelvic awareness before we go into our movements. Good. Maybe you pause at that neutral position again. Maybe you rock the ball side to side, just letting the left hip drop an inch, back to center, letting the right hip drop an inch, back to center, just rolling side to side on the ball with this pelvic awareness, not letting anything else move. So the neck is relaxed, the face is relaxed, the knees aren't moving. It's just that little tilt of the pelvis side to side. Good. Perfect. Pause with it back at that neutral spine position. Palms are gonna go right on the mat. We're gonna inhale, exhale, find that little tilt, and then just lift a few inches where you're barely about to lose the ball into a bridge. Inhale, exhale, nice and slow, roll it down. Again, so tiny movement here. Inhaling, exhaling, you're gonna lift up your hips to where you're just about to lose the ball. To find your glutes, inhale, exhale, nice and slow, roll back down. So just kind of warming up here. If you want more of an intermediate challenge here, you could take robot arms, elbows are bent, or you could take arms up towards the ceiling, palms face each other. You don't have those little kickstands, so you're really just relying on the glutes here. As you go, if those hamstrings get to be too tight, you can always scooch the feet in closer to the body. And as you go up, you really want to squeeze the glutes, kneecap shoot away, finding your back body here for your bridging. This next one, we're going to hold up in that bridge. Little 1 inch up, 1 inch down, little hip dips. As you press up, squeeze the glutes. Inhaling and exhaling as you go. Again, tiny movement, press into that big and second toe, not rolling out to the pinky side part of the foot. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Press up, inhale, exhale, nice and slow. Roll back down over the ball. Hands come back to the mat. Adjust if you need. Take a big inhale and an exhale. Perfect. All right, we're gonna lift up our hips, remove the ball. Again, feel that difference there. The ball's gone. Let your hips shake side to side. Again, finding that neutral spine position. Again, ball's gonna go right in between the knees. Knees are bent, feet flat. We're gonna go to warm up our core now. So hands can come behind the head, elbows wide. Press the low back down into the mat. Inhale, exhale, chin to chest, come up into that curl up. Inhale, exhale, back down, good. Nice and slow and controlled, trying to get up off of those shoulder blades. As you scoop up, squeeze the ball. You're gonna engage that core a little bit more. Elbows are nice and wide. Good. Just slowly starting to build and warm up here. Perfect. We are going to add on. You can stay here. Otherwise, it's an inhale, exhale, scoop up, rotates to the left. Keep the elbows wide, back to center. Head comes down. Scoop on up, rotate to the right, nice and slow, back to center, and back down. Good. Continuing here, finding that oblique twist as you go. Pressing the low back down into the mat. The slower you go here, the more work you're going to feel. Head is heavy in the hands. Good. I've got one more side to side here. Perfect. And when you finish the last one, you can take your hands out from behind your head. Maybe let the knees sway side to side with the ball. Take a big inhale and an exhale. Hands are going to come back down to the mat. Legs are going to come to tabletop. So you still have the ball in between the knees. Knees are over hips. Option 1, you keep your hands where you're at. If you want a little bit more assistance, you can take your hands out wide to a T. Knees are directly over hips. You're going to let the knees sway over to the right a few inches. Keep your shoulders down on the ground. Inhale. Bring it back to center. Good. Exhale, a little twist. Make sure those knees aren't coming in towards the chest. You're feeling that twist in that core work here. Nice and slow and controlled. Little squeeze on the ball as you go. Perfect. The hips can lift side to side, but you want to keep those shoulders down. Do this in a range of motion that works for you, where you're starting to feel that oblique work. Good. I have one more this side. Bringing it back to center, feet come down to the mat. Take an inhale and an exhale. You can stick with that. We're going to move on back to that tabletop position. Really squeeze the ball. Inhale, exhale, over to the right. Extend the legs, straighten, bend the knees, back to center, over to the left. Straighten the legs, back to table, bring it back through the center. So just adding on like a little can-can here. Shoulders are still staying down. Knees are over hips. You're not letting those knees come in towards the chest. Perfect. And if your back is arching, you're going too low with the legs. You can go a little higher with the legs. You want it to be all core work, not back work. I've got one more here to the side. Perfect. Bring it back to center. Feet find the mat. Take a big inhale and an exhale. All right, ball's gonna come into our hands. Arms go up to 90, just a gentle pressure on the ball. Carefully take the legs one at a time back into tabletop. We're gonna do what we just did here. Option 1, just the knees, or you add that extension over to one side, back to center, over to the other side. Keep your shoulders down without the hands down. It's a little more challenging. If you're adding on, you could add that can side to side. Really trying not to fall over. Squeeze the ball here. Find that twist. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. I got one more like this. Perfect. And then set the feet down, take an inhale and an exhale. We add on, ball goes in between the ankles. Legs back to the tabletop, hands to the mat or out to a T. Either one. We're gonna do same thing here. Over to one side, really warming up those obliques. Back to center, squeeze the ball in the ankles over to the other side. Keep your shoulders down. If you're adding on that can, really squeeze the ball in the ankles as you extend those legs. Back to tabletop. Center, over to the other side. Find that twist here. Perfect. We're gonna go one more side to side here, either staying in that tabletop or adding that can. Feeling those obliques. Perfect. Bring it back to tabletop. Ball can come into the hands. Feet come down to the mat. Let the knees sway side to side. Take a big inhale and an exhale. All right. You're going to press yourself a little bit up to seated. The ball is going to go behind the shoulder blades. So ball's right behind the shoulder blades. Hands are going to come behind the head. Knees are back, feet flat. Try to scoop, really pressing that low back down into the mat. So we're not extending over, we're just finding that neutral position. Good. We can adjust where the ball is if you need. We're gonna inhale. Exhale, first reach back behind, finding some extension over the ball. That feels okay for the back. Inhaling back up, exhale, a little bit of a crunch, reach up, yep. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, reach back over the ball, elbows wide. Inhaling, exhaling, a little bit of a scoop. Elbows stay nice and wide. A few more like this. If you need to adjust where the ball is, you can. Good, feet are nice and heavy into the mat. And nice and slow and controlled here. Doing this in a range that works for you. Finding those core muscles. Good. We're gonna go one more like this. And then find that neutral spine position. Head is heavy into the hands. Good. We're gonna inhale, exhale, a little bit of a scoop. Engage the core. Right leg is gonna lift to table, set it back down. Left leg lifts to table, set it back down. Marching here. The more you scoop, the more you're gonna feel this in the core. You need a break. You just go back to that neutral position, letting your shoulders rest over the ball. Perfect. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend over the ball. Take an inhale and an exhale. We add on, inhaling, exhaling, come back up into that scoop, engage the core. We're gonna take both legs come up to table. Good, tap those toes down. You can always go back to that first option. Otherwise, we're double leg toe tapping. If it's too much on the core, you can go back to that neutral spine position. Otherwise, you're up in that C curve, really having the core nice and engaged. Good, we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, feet find the ground, extend back over the ball, take an inhale and an exhale. All right, we add on, promise keep the head heavy in the hands so you're not feeling it too much in the neck here. All right. We're gonna find some rotation. So starting in that neutral, inhale, exhale, come up into that little bit of a chest C curve. Rotate to the left, open, back to center, back down over the ball. Inhale, exhale, coming back up into that chest lift, rotate to the right, elbows stay nice and wide, back to center, scooping back down. Good, continuing here, just finding that rotation side to side, elbows stay nice and wide. You can adjust where the ball is if you need. Perfect. I'm gonna go one more side to side here, finding that rotation, really working the core. Good, good. Last one here, up into that C curve, rotating. And bring it back down. Carefully.